Hi and welcome to Intuitive Insights. On this channel we discuss everything to do with the Ascension process. I'm Kassia, and today I am going to be doing a twin flame reading for the sign of Taurus. So this is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs. If you don't know your chart, I recommend you go to a website such as astro.com. You can find all of your information there, and you can find all of your different planetary placements. This video may or may not resonate. It's a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Just take what fits and leave the rest. And definitely, check out your other signs as well. And if you don't know them, like I said, definitely you can go and figure that out. We are doing a contest this month. The video with the most likes and comments is getting a bonus video for the month of June from both Kayla and myself. So share this with all of your Taurus friends. Get them to like and comment. And you guys can get a bonus video for this month. Trying to think if there's any other housekeeping notes that I want to let you guys know about as we get started with the Taurus twin flame. I'm not really sure. That was really brief. I mean, for me, right? We offer videos on all topics of the Ascension process, so definitely I recommend that you guys browse through our different videos, and there's a little something for everyone. We like to examine the Ascension process from as many lenses and as many angles as possible. And the twin flame journey is absolutely, the whole point of it is the Ascension, right? The Ascension and then the mission. And so yeah. This is definitely falls within the realm. So we're going to all right, let's get a storyline. Let's get some information for Taurus Twin Flame, June 2020. What's going on with our Tauruses? Taurus Twin Flame 2020, June 2020. Okay. All right, guys. So we have the Three of Cups, celebration and community. And so I feel for a lot of Taurians right now, like, is that a word for us? I don't know. I'm a Taurus sun, right? So this applies to me as well as you guys. we're gonna go with it. I like it. A lot of Taurians, we're really coming into this space of community, right? We're coming into this space. We're attracting in our soul tribe, our soul family. There's a lot of celebratory energy going on. And there's also, this is the card that represents reunions, right? And so next to the Eight of Wands, which in this card is energy surge and communication, I'm feeling communication coming in. I'm feeling for communication coming in. And I'm feeling as though there's been telepathic communication going on already between counterparts here. And so this energy is just it's gaining momentum. And we've been feeling our counterparts coming in energetically, right? And so now they're that is opening the way to more. I'm definitely feeling a reunion coming in here. We've got 16, the Tower, which is divine intervention. And so I'm definitely feeling some energy is coming through that's going to intervene and create this space for this communication. This energy on its own, the momentum of this energy as the counterparts are being drawn energetically back towards each other is perhaps even what's creating this divine intervention. It's the energy has a momentum of its own, and it's just breaking down barriers and paving the way for this reunion, right? For this, it's I just had this vision or this thought of this beautiful community of lights and of all these like-minded beings, these spiritual warriors coming together. And so that's really cool. I'm just feeling a lot of really positive energy from this Three of Cups card right now. And just all of this momentum. It's I'm feeling for some of you too. It may be somebody in your community or somebody that you've connected with recently that sort of communicates something to you that also provides this surge of energy, right? And sort of brings in this Tower energy. It's divine intervention. It's also this may not be an outer thing. This is also sudden realizations and insights. So you may receive some sort of communication. This may come from somebody in your community, somebody you recently connected with, a random person maybe, or it may come from your angels and your spirit guides. it may come through this energy with the eclipse portal and all of this, right? But some sort of communication, it may be communication that your telepathic communication that you're receiving from your counterpart, from your twin flame. But something about this communication provides this sort of insight, and something the divine is able to intervene finally in your favor because it has the space to do so, because we've surrendered to give it the space to do so. And then we have the Four of Swords, healing and recovery. So this communication comes, this understanding comes, and then you're able to come back together and to really heal and recover. Heal the things that need to be healed between the two of you. Like you've done a lot of healing on your own, and now you're able to come together and do the healing that's necessary together. Like sometimes we need to heal apart and sometimes we need to heal together. And so it's that process, right? And then we have soul searching, the Hermit card. And so this is Virgo energy here with the Hermit, right? But it's like, it's this process of going within. It's this process of really soul searching. I'm feeling like a lot of really deep, honest communication that really paves the way for a deeper level of understanding. And I'm also feeling a lot of soul searching within. I'm feeling that for some people, if this divine intervention comes in the form of an outer circumstance, or if it causes then things that must be done in the physical that are a bit of a trial, there may be a little period of healing and recovery and soul searching that goes on before this communication is initiated. For others, this is what's going to be the result of this communication, is this healing and recovery and this soul searching. This ability that you guys now have to be able to have these open, honest communications and to really be able to see things from each other's perspective. I'm feeling that a lot as well. And I'm feeling, I don't know, it's interesting. We have all of these people down here that are walking, right? It's like this giant frozen man. And then all of this line of people walking below him. So that's like, I don't know. That's really fascinating to me. I'm not really sure what I'm feeling from that, but I'm definitely feeling something from that. And it's sort of like a pilgrimage. It's like this pilgrimage through this really icy, cold landscape. Maybe this is how we felt within our hearts at one point, right? And sort of the thawing of that energy, right? It's like we were walking through this icy terrain. We were wandering, we were almost lost in a way, right? And I'm hearing like finding our way back home. That's what I'm feeling right now. And then we have success and recognition as well. We have success and recognition, and then we have the Divine Feminine card, the Empress. And so this is a masculine recognizing his feminine. This is this process of, and perhaps for some, this is a process that happened recently as well, of like this tower moment that occurred, and then the soul searching and the healing and recovery around that then led to this triumphant place of recognition of their counterpart and of the journey that was underway between the two. So I'm feeling that as well. And I'm just feeling this success and recognition card just in general, like really just, there's a lot of really positive energy associated with this reading. And I feel as though the feminine is really in her glory right now in a lot of ways. And like she's being recognized for that. Like both parties have done a lot of work, right? And I'm feeling that like that work is paying off. Like a lot of soul searching, a lot of growth, and that work is paying off, and that's leading you back to each other. And there may have been a painful ending. I mean, we have this on the bottom of the deck. Interestingly enough, we have painful ending, and then right after it we have divine masculine. So we got the divine feminine the divine feminine and the divine masculine card coming out, right? So there's definitely, obviously, like a union energy here or reunion energy here. But then there's like, there may have been a painful ending in the past between the two of you that you're healing from, there may also be a painful ending that the masculine has experienced recently. And that painful ending may have something to do with this divine intervention, this Tower card, but that is leading him back to his feminine. If that is the case. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually just feeling like I want to stop there with these. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And then, interesting. I want to do a couple of these now. So this is the Light Seers Tarot. So Taurus, Twin Flame, June 2020. Taurus, Twin Flame, June 2020. Taurus, Twin Flame, June 2020. And let's do with these, let's do energy for the feminine. Energy for the feminine. So we got the Two of Cups, Divine Partnership, and the Five of Cups, interestingly, which is feeling left out in the cold. So that's an interesting combination there. Okay, and then I was drawn to Justice on the bottom of the deck. So Justice for this situation where she was felt left out in the cold. She's wanting that, and I'm guessing that she's receiving that because the Two of Cups was the first card that came out. So let's get more about this Two of Cups. We have the Death card. Death and rebirth. So something that ended and is now being resurrected. That's what I'm feeling from that. Let's get something for the Five of Cups. Something else for the Five of Cups. Queen of Wands. So this experience of feeling left out in the cold, this experience of loss and sort of the overcoming of that, and the process of also, I'm just feeling the process of going inside. So it's weird because it's kind of like a hermit type energy, right? But that's what I'm feeling, is this process of being alone, of working through, the feminine has worked through some of her issues, her fears of abandonment. You know, unfortunately, when we have fears like that, we work through those by experiencing that again. Like our twin flame is a mirror, right? They're a reflection. So whatever it is that we're afraid of is what they're going to reflect back to us. So in this situation, the feminine was afraid of being abandoned, and she felt as though she was all over again. And that was a really painful process for her, but it turned her into this Queen of Wands. It turned her into, like, she really, like, I'm just feeling empowerment from this card. She became empowered. She became strong. She became passionate. She reconnected to her fire and her passion as a result of all of that, which is absolutely beautiful. And then clarification for the Justice card. That's weird. This like popped out and then fell right back in my hand on the bottom of the deck. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is a slow and steady offer. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is growth, working on something, putting effort and work into something. And then we also have the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck, which can be seen as an apology, something like that. So definitely I feel as though this is her masculine coming back in. He's been taking his time. He really wants to make sure that he can offer her something steady, something grounded, something real, something with roots, right? There's something with the roots here. But he really wants to own up. He really wants to give her the justice that she deserves, even if that justice is just acknowledging the things that he wasn't willing to acknowledge before, and then move past that and continue to grow, continue to put down these roots. Like, his roots may have been part of the issue as well, the things that he had to work through, whether this is ancestral karma that he was healing, whether this is his own family karma, his own any of that stuff, his own beliefs and understandings around family. Like, there's a lot going on with the roots, but he's wanting to plant something and grow that with her. And it's like he's had this heart awakening. Like, in this Page of Cups, you can just see the heart awakening. And this is funny because this is a card that a reader that I watch pulls a lot, and she talks about when pigs fly. We got the little flying pig there, right? So it's just like the believing in the impossible as well. Yeah. There was this energy, this Eight of Swords energy, this painful energy, this feeling trapped, feeling bound, feeling stuck. And then we have the Hierophant, which is the Taurus card. This is also the card that represents spiritual enlightenment. So there was enlightenment that came out of this process of freeing herself. She freed herself from this bondage, from these places where she felt stuck. I feel as though both the feminine and the masculine did this. And then they came into this enlightenment, right? Like this all of these possibilities that are now able to manifest, right? And this open heart, overcoming the shadow energy, overcoming and purging all the stuff within the heart chakra that was keeping her out of love and unable to love. Yeah. And we also, the Hierophant also can represent marriage and commitment. And so this could be feeling stuck in a marriage or commitment and having to move past that energy. There's something about that as well. Oh, weird. What did I do here? I don't know. That's interesting. I don't even know how that happened. This card is from the Twinflame Tarot Journey deck. And then these are from this. I don't know how that, I guess I'll have to rewatch the video and see how that card got in there. But whatever. That was what came out. Oh, and that's funny because we got, yeah, the Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold again. That energy, just there's still some of that present. That's what we've been working through, right? That abandonment, that disillusionment. Okay, so let's get some cards for the masculine now. Let's get some cards for the masculine. For Taurus, June 2020. Taurus, June 2020. But yeah, I feel like it was a lot of, for the feminine, working through her shadow aspects and seeing and understanding how her shadow aspects were being reflected back to her and the healing that she needed to do within herself around that. But we got masculine, Taurus, masculine, divine masculine energy. Energy for the divine masculine. Holy shit. All right. So we have the Seven of Cups, which is confusion. It's lots of options. It's not really knowing what to do, what to choose, where to go, which is putting the masculine in this Eight of Swords energy. This mental entrapment, feeling bound, feeling trapped. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which in the traditional deck to me feels like somebody who's needing to defend themselves from a lot, feeling very defensive, feeling as though they've kind of been put on blast, feeling as though they need to fight really hard. But in this card, like, she's pretty chill. She's kind of just in her bubble, letting all of those wands kind of bounce off of her. So I'm feeling like an overcoming of that energy from this card. Like, just being stuck in this place of a lot of mental confusion and entrapment and negativity. But it's interesting because it's like there's a mirror here. So she's looking in the mirror. So it's also, again, like realizing how situations were mirroring things back to them. I feel like the masculine is understanding how his relationship with his feminine was a mirroring. There was a lot of mirroring energy going on, and a lot of it was like, in his own mind, right? But then he's seeing how all of the situations in his life were mirrors for him and reflecting the things that needed to be healed. And so in this card, it's making me feel as though he's done a lot of that healing. He's done a lot of that healing, and he's in a place now where the opinions and the thoughts and the energies of other people aren't affecting him so much. He's just like super peaceful. This is like, you know, just meditating in this bubble of like, you know, I've overcome this energy and I'm at peace now. And nothing that you guys do or say can disrupt that peace for me. And then we have the Six of Cups, which is nostalgia. So this is also a card that typically represents past life soulmates. It represents reuniting with a past life soulmate. And we have the Two of Cups after that. So I would say that that's definitely, and that's funny because that's what the Divine Feminine got, the Two of Cups in her reading as well, right? So that's coming up as well for the masculine. And it's just like they're pouring all of this rainbow energy into these cups. And so that reminds me of what happens when the masculine and the feminine, in their healed energy, come into union and they create that unconditional love portal, right? It's like they're pouring into each other's cups. It's like they each have a full cup, and they're able to then pour into each other's cups. They're able to combine that energy and create something beautiful. And so that makes me feel, reminds me of the Twinflame mission as well. And it really reminds me of the Twinflame mission, which is interesting in light of everything that we have going on in the world right now, right? As we're fighting for racial equality, we're fighting for unity, we're fighting for everyone to have a voice. As you see, it's like the black and the white, you know, it's the coming together. It's the way that they're able to unify people, to help people to see past differences, to see past race, to see past culture, to see past language, to see past gender, and all these barriers that disconnect people from each other. And like, so I'm feeling a mission that involves uniting that. So that's just absolutely beautiful energy. I also feel as though some of this healing also had to do around, because like in this card, it makes me think of the inner child as well, and like the childhood, right? So I feel as though there was a lot of healing for the masculine that has been going on around his inner child and around childhood trauma and stuff like that as well. Yeah. And then we have Temperance, which is duality. It's balancing dualities, it's balancing different ideas. It's Temperance is also, it's like forgiveness, right? It's all of that beautiful stuff. It's patience, it's tolerance, it's, you know, he's got it looks to me like the sun and the moon. He's holding the sun and the moon. So once again, we're coming back to the eclipse, right? We're coming back to all of that energy that we have going on right now. But we're also coming back to the dualities. And this card in this deck always makes me think of the balancing of the masculine and the feminine aspects, right? The moon is the feminine aspect. The sun is the masculine energy. And sort of the way it's like those two energies just intermingle, the way that those two energies just meld together. And the fact that the masculine has done this, has been working really hard on doing this internally, and that's reflecting externally, and sort of bringing the feminine energy back into his world. And then we have the Hanged Man, which is a change in perspective. And we have the Sun, which is the happiest card in the deck. It's just abundance, it's joy, it's all of the good things in life. It's good health. It's a happy family, a happy everything. And in this card, it looks like a portal. Like, look at the energy coming up there. So I'm feeling, with this card, I'm feeling the solstice, the summer solstice energy, which occurs right around the second Jupiter-Pluto conjunction that we're going to have. And the solar eclipse is happening on the summer solstice. So I'm feeling that energy, and I'm just feeling this energy of almost like being sucked back up into this portal. Like, it seems like it's like, you see her necklace is kind of up in the air. It's sort of like she's being sucked and drawn into this portal, being drawn into this energy. So it's like that feeling of being drawn home again is what I'm feeling from that. And then we have the Eight of Cups. Walking away from that which is no longer emotionally fulfilling. Walking away from all this murkiness, all of this heaviness, all of this stuff that, you know, some was really good for a time, but is no longer is no longer what's necessary, is no longer what's helpful, and then moving into this Nine of Cups energy. Like when we're able to walk away from what doesn't serve anymore, complete wish fulfillment follows. And the Ace of Wands, a passionate new start. Fire, creativity. I mean, this is like third eye awakenings too, right? Crown chakra awakenings, all of that stuff. All of that stuff that follows. This passionate new cycle that's ready to begin, that is a fulfillment of everything that the masculine has ever wished for, hoped for, and dreamed for. That happens as soon as he's ready to do this. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. That ultimate manifested feminine energy. So a passionate start perhaps with this Queen of Pentacles energy. She's the Earth Mother, right? I feel her just as this like protector of the earth is the energy that I'm getting from her right now. Just really centered in herself, centered in nature, centered in her place in the world. And so Queen of Pentacles would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And then we also have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck, which is Virgo energy. This is that journey of introspection, but in this it's just like complete enlightenment. Complete enlightenment. And then the Lovers. So definitely some union energy going on here. A lot of healing that's taken place, a lot of healing, which is absolutely beautiful. And now we're going to get, I want to grab a couple of these Black Moon Astrology cards. All right. Okay, so this will be union energy, since we already did the masculine and the feminine. What is the union energy? Union energy, Taurus, June 2020. Oh. Okay, so we have Cancer, I feel. So really, union energy, this is the energy of the home. This is Cancer is the rules, the fourth house, right? So the home, the foundation, the roots, like we were talking about earlier, right? And also the emotions, like really being balanced in the emotions, being open, having that open heart center. I'm feeling that that's going to be so important. The balance of the family, figuring out, understanding how to do that for some people. And the, mother energy is coming through, healing of the mother energy. And, just really that having that open heart center and being able to tap into that heart space is going to be key. And then we have Libra, I balance. So this is like what we were talking about with the Temperance card, right? That ability to balance, the ability to see, to compromise, to see from both situations. It's interesting the way this woman is like sort of like with this angel. It reminds me of like a Lovers type feel. I don't know if you guys can really fully see that, but that's interesting. But yeah, that being willing to see from each other's perspectives, willing to compromise, willing to balance, willing to hear other people's, to see and hear other people's sides, and really to be able to empathize and to be able to build something from a place of fairness and balance. And then we have Pluto transformation. So allowing this death and rebirthing process to happen, examining the shadow, really being willing to look at and examine the shadow. And we have the air element, communicating. So being able to communicate moving forward about when those shadow energies are present, being able to communicate about times in the past where those shadow energies were present, and being able to understand that, and also being able to communicate moving forward when more of that shadow stuff comes up, because it absolutely will. I mean, we're always growing and we're always changing. And so we need to be able to do that. We need to be able to have that open, honest communication with ourselves and with each other, right? And I don't know why I said with ourselves. I guess because it's going to be just as important to be aware of our own energy, to be aware of when we're projecting, really understanding, like, in order for us to be able to discuss those shadow energies when they come up, we have to understand that they're coming up. So a level of self-awareness is going to be key as well. A level of self-awareness, a level of like communication, really opening up those lines of communication. And then we have the 10th house, which is the house of career. It's ambition, it's social status, it's standing, it's how people see us, how people perceive us. The Saturn return, which is growing up. This is when the kind of the rubber meets the road, and we have to really step into our empowerment. We have to step into being adults and our responsibilities and what that means. It's a huge turning point in our lives when we have our Saturn return. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. And then we have Mercury mind on the bottom of the deck again, followed by the 4th house, which we talked about with the Cancer card, right? Which is roots. So, yeah, it's going to be really being open and communicating about all of that. The 10th house, the world, this is making me think of the mission, stepping into that mission together, really helping each other to grow up, being willing to grow up and to become responsible and accept responsibility in the areas where we need to be responsible, but like reinventing the way that we get how to do that. Like, we don't have to do that the way that people have always done it. We can be responsible and we can grow up and we can claim our place in the world and make that look different and make that look new and make that look fresh. And that might be what part of the mission is about. You know, it's allowing ourselves to do that, to reinvent ourselves, to reinvent this process of how we communicate, reinvent this process of like what these roots look like, what this 4th house, this stability looks like, what this family looks like, right? Like, twin flames are all about that dynamic, refreshing, recharging that dynamic, really like revolutionizing the way people look at love, the way people look at family, the way people look at relationships, all of that stuff, like turning that stuff on its head. So like the 10th house is how people perceive us as well. So it's like getting past the fears of how we're going to be perceived and really stepping into our own, stepping into our power, stepping into our ability to create, right? Like Saturn creates rules, boundaries, structure, all of that. But like reinventing what that structure looks like and not worrying about what other people say about that, and instead knowing that like we are the example that other people can then follow. You know, some people may judge, but that's not our business. That doesn't matter. That like we can't hold back from doing the things that we want to do because we think other people are going to judge us. And then yeah, Mercury, just more of that mind energy. I actually want to read what it says for Mercury out of this book right now. So there's a lot of mercurial energy. We got the Mercury retrograde and the Mercury. So I'm also feeling the balancing, right? Like both parties really continuing to balance the logic and the intuition, the masculine and the feminine. Like when Mercury goes into retrograde, this is when we think differently. When our thinking is sort of flipped on its head. And we're thinking and communicating from a more emotional, intuitive place, right? Rather than the logic place. So being able to swap between those two and continue that balance, which we've been working on this whole year of 2020, right, is learning how to do that. That's going to be really key for a successful union later on. And so let's see what else this says. The Mercury card suggests you must put effort behind your talk. So what we've been talking about with that, yep. Mercury is also a comedian and can be a bit of a trickster. Just when the energy seems to be flowing one way, Mercury changes direction. Might we add Mercury is spontaneous and insanely flexible. So the need to be flexible, the need as we're creating and reinventing these structures and these definitions of what relationships look like, what all this stuff looks like, being really flexible and allowing for that process, like continuing to communicate when our minds are fluctuating, when we're feeling different things, experiencing different things, communicating about our emotions, communicating about our shadow, communicating about sort of like allowing and understanding that like our moods and our thoughts and our minds are going to be changeable, but that doesn't mean we have to react extremely to that. Instead, we can like talk it out, right? Yes. Yeah. When Mercury card presents itself in a reading, it's time to use all of your mental faculties to get your point across. Words and how you use them are very significant. It may mark a period where you either have to talk your way out of something or talk your way into something. Whatever the reason or occurrence, how you communicate through writing or speaking is of utmost importance here. Yeah. This is not a time to stay static or to sit still. Beware of gossip and other scandals. The important thing is to remember is what you say in this situation can and will be used against you, so choose your words wisely. So this comes into the judgment, right? This comes into like some people's feathers may be kind of ruffled, and we may need to smooth things out. We may be dealing with other people's shadow as well. Other people's shadows may be triggered by this union energy. And so that's going to be something to keep in mind moving forward. And just being really careful, not just how we communicate with others, but how we communicate with each other as well. And just really having each other's back, you know, like really having each other's back. This is also the card of brothers and sisters as well as twins. Yep. And signifies travels, maps, and staying in motion. So you may be going on a trip. Trips, vacations. Yeah. Codes and forms of magic may also figure in. That's interesting. Mercury brings on keen awareness, so use your mind and what you know to the fullest in this matter. So there may be travel involved when you guys come into union. There may be some sticky situations that need to be navigated. Some people that may not agree with the way that you're doing things. As we're setting new precedents for how things are done, it's going to ruffle some feathers, and we're going to get some flack from that. So it's just like standing true and firm in that as well. And for some, this card also mentioned that it may be the best time to be friends as opposed to jumping into a relationship. So with some, this union may happen very slowly. And it may happen first as becoming friends, and then like taking it really slow, diving back in and allowing for that process of healing, which would also bring up the Temperance card. Allowing for that healing to fully take place between the two of you, and for all of these other factors to sort of be worked out the way they need to be worked out so that this transition can happen as smoothly as possible. And I mean, not all twin flames are in a romantic union. Sometimes they come together as friends. So some of you may not end up in a romantic union together. You may find that you're better as friends. I mean, I feel for a lot, like, it's definitely not as common. I think the energies, the magnetism of the energies makes that difficult sometimes. But for some of you, that may be a case or a possibility. And then we have the 4th house roots card. Yeah. So this has to do with the childhood too. The childhood. So the issues of healing childhood that we were talking about earlier, how that's been something that's going on. Family, issues around family. Nourishing, safety, motherhood, all of those stuff, all of that Cancer energy, right? When this card shows up in a reading, home and family issues may have something to do with your query. And it represents your current environment, family members, and where you live, blah, blah, blah. This card can be the predictor of a birth or new members of the family, a pregnancy, and can sometimes mean care for the elderly. This card may also indicate the presence of angels and being directed by heavenly means. And then it talks about people returning from the past. And then also just physical manifestations of settling down with a house and all of that. So yeah. And finally, oh, this is funny. Whatever is being asked about may occur around the time of the full moon. So those are just, they put in a lot of little stuff like that in there. Sometimes I think it's fun to read some of that stuff. But yeah, so it's definitely, there's a lot going on around the family and family situations that may involve children, that may involve combining of families or separating of families, the recalibration of family units, all of that different stuff. So there's a lot going on around that. There's a lot of healing going on around past family issues as well, around healing ancestral lineage and stuff like that. Like a lot of that different stuff. Yeah, past life karma. So it's gonna be intense. This is not like a super simple, warm and fuzzy and easy road to union here, or guidance for union energy for Taurus, you guys. You know, you guys are the bulls though. You're incredibly loyal, you're steadfast, you're able to achieve anything you guys put your minds to, and we as Tauruses can be incredibly stubborn as well, which can work in our favor, so but the Mercury energy is asking us to be adaptable, to be flexible, to be mutable, right? Mercury rules the mutable signs. It rules Virgo and Gemini, so it's very much about being mutable in our approach to situations, like standing our ground, and if we commit to something, commit to it. You know what I mean? But also, like, be flexible in how that looks. Allow ourselves to be flexible, to be changeable, to go with the flow of things, and to really stay centered in the communication piece. So it looks as though there's been a lot of healing that has occurred, and there's a lot more healing and a lot more work that will continue to occur as this reunion happens. And that's all part of the process as well, and part of what you guys are here to learn together, whether you do that as friends or you do that as romantic counterparts moving forward. But you're definitely here to show the world some ways that they can be healed, and some ways that we can reform some of these structures, these outdated structures, especially involving, it seems, family dynamics and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it resonated. If you would like to donate to our channel, we have a link for that below. Kayla and I both also offer energy healing sessions and personal readings. So if you resonate with one of us, our info is in the description box below. That can definitely help to provide some more insight, to provide some more clarity and guidance moving forward, as well as to energetically just release some of those stuck energies and help facilitate that heart opening, facilitate everything, really everything's energy. So there's nothing that the energy healing does not help with. And remember, we are giving away the bonus video this month, so like and comment on this video if you want to get an extra reading this month, and share it with all of your friends. I love you so much. Kayla loves you so much as well. And it's going to be an interesting month. It's going to be an interesting year. I mean, buckle your seatbelts, guys. This is the ride. We're doing the thing. All of the change that we're looking to create in the world right now, like, we're moving into this new earth, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. It's still going to require work. It's going to require us to really tap into our inner reserves, to connect with our intuition, to really center in our truth, and to act from that place of truth, and to be committed, to be those spiritual warriors as we're ushering in this new earth. Like, that is required of us. And you know what? Every single one of you, every single one of us has what it takes to do that. And with that, I will leave you guys.